All right, so lesson 12-5.5, angle relationships in circles with expressions. So this is just like what you were doing in the last video, but now we're going to have expressions in them and not just whole numbers. All right, so problem 1, solve for x. Assume that lines which appear tangent are tangent. So this is where we have a tangent line LM, and then we have another like a ray going off and being MN. And we have our angle 39 degrees here, and the arc length being the expression 6x plus 18. So in the previous video we learned that the angle 39 should be will equal half the length of the arc, which is 6x plus 18. So we have an equation set up now. We're just trying to solve for x. Distribute your 1/2. When doing that, half of 6 is 3. Half of 18 is 9. So now we have 39 equals 3x plus 9. Continue to solve the problem. We want to go ahead and minus the 9 over. So we're going to have 30 equals 3x. Divide by 3. And x is 10. Okay, problem 2. Solve for x. Assume that the lines which appear tangent are tangent. So in this problem, we see that we have a arc measure of 132 degrees and another arc measure of 60 degrees. And we learned in the last video that when we take these two opposite arcs here and we average them, we will find the angle measure right here. We'll find this angle measure here. So if we go ahead and set up a problem that says 47x plus 2 should equal the two arc lengths added together and divided by 2. So we would have 132 plus 60 divided by 2. From here we can sum up 132 and 60. We're going to get 192. Then we go ahead and divide the 192 by 2. We get 96. Now we just continue to solve the problem. Minus your 2 over. So we'll have 47 equals 94. Divide both sides by 47. And we get the number 2. So our x in this problem is 2. Okay, problem 3 asks us to solve for x. And given a problem like this, we have two secants that intersect at D. We have a formula that helps us figure out this problem. So from the last video, the difference between the two arcs times by a half would equal angle CDE. So if we have the measure of angle CDE, that would equal 1/2 times the quantity of the arc BU. So arc BU minus the arc CE. Sorry, this should be CDE. So this is our formula from the last video. Now we're going to take the information we have from the picture and plug it in. So we can see that angle CDE is 39 degrees. We have our 1/2. We have BU, which is 128, our subtraction sign. Then we have the quantity, -4 plus 6x. And since we have a quantity with a subtraction sign in front of it, we need to distribute that subtraction sign. So now our problem would look like this. 39 equals 1/2, 128 plus 4, because a negative times a negative gives us positive, and then a negative times a positive gives us a negative, so we have negative 6x. Now we can go ahead and combine like terms. We have 128 plus 4, so now we're going to have 132 minus 6x in our parentheses. From here, I got to distribute my 1/2. So 132 divided by 2 is 66. So I'm essentially just distributing. So half of 132 is 66. 1/2 times 6x is 3x. And from here, just solve an equation like you always solve equations. I will minus the 66 to the other side of the equation. And so 36 minus 66 gives us negative 27 divided by negative 3. So x is positive 9. And we have found x. So I want to go over another problem that was similar to number 3, because there's a variety you can have. And we follow the same idea that the angle QRS, the measure of angle QRS, is equal to half the measure of the arc JT minus the arc SQ, which is just 45 degrees. And so from here, we just go ahead and we plug in the information. So we've got the angle being 8x minus 6. That's going to equal 1/2 JT, which is going to be 12 plus 19x. We got minus our degree of 45. We go ahead and combine like terms. 12 minus 45 is going to give us negative 33. So our equation would now look like this. Since we've combined 12 and the negative 45. So now we go ahead and we can distribute the 1/2. So negative 33 divided by 2 will be negative 16.5, and 19 divided by 2 is going to give us 9.5x. So from here we can go ahead and solve the equation. I'm going to add the 16.5x to the other side. And so now I have negative 6 plus 16.5. My equation is now 8x plus 10.5 equals 9x. 9.5x. Going to go ahead and subtract the 8x over. And so now I have 10.5x equals 1.5x. Divide both sides by 1.5. And x will equal 7.